Hey guys, another video here from Fedora Gent 007. Haven't popped in a while. I just thought I would update you on my journey. So right now I'm actually reading Survival by Margaret Atwood. And fans of the channel may remember my previous video where I did a mini documentary on Margaret Atwood. And this is years later. This is 10 years later probably, but now I'm really interested in Canadian literature, and so here I am diving in to Survival by Margaret Atwood, and this is just my first thoughts after reading the preface and a bit of the first chapter. Maybe I'll be doing some pop in, pop out style, on your feet, in your face theater kind of action. And this is a thematic guide to Canadian literature. And the interesting thing about this is that Margaret, in this, she's not trying to analytically prescribe to you what Canadian literature is, but it's looking at it, and I think I'm not going to quote for quote, I'm just going to reference. She discusses that this is more like a bird watching guide, like like a bird watching book. When you open it, it'll give you a picture of the bird. It'll say some things the bird does, right? Like patterns. So these are some patterns you can pick up in Canadian literature. So that's what makes it Canadian. And as we know, literature is a mirror to the soul, a mirror to the self. So these are some things that when you compare Canadian literature, Canadian bird walking, little bird walking, walking little bird, walking little bird, these are the stories of literature. These are the mirrors with which we reflect to ourselves as Canadians, right? So, because we're all wondering, what's Canada? It's literally what everyone's wondering. And I'm one of those people who's wondering, right? So, that's why I'm reading Survival, the Margaret Atwood story, subtitled A Thematic Guide to Canadian Literature. And I am familiar with some of these things, right? Like, I'm familiar with Northrop Frye. I'm familiar with other Canadians. Milton Acorn, that's one. I think she's talking about another Milton in here, which I'm not familiar with. So, a lot of this stuff goes over my head, but there is a few names that I pick up on. She references Toronto. I know Toronto. Not like the back of my hand or anything, but and I did have something to say about this book. But, like, check out the lamp, right? It's like, check out the lamp, right? So, survival. Let's keep thinking about that, because that's some interesting stuff, right? But hold on there. Sorry, I accidentally clicked something and then a video started playing, but I didn't want a video to play. No, this was... Well, let's get down to brass tacks. Sorry, I drank my coffee too fast. Let's get down to brass tacks. we don't know where we are or what we're doing, any of us in Canada. We think it's the Queensland, we think it's a 51st state of America, we think it's a barren wasteland. We think it's the six, right? We think this is like Drake's God's plan. Like, we think this is the promised land of Drake. And it's just not that anymore. You look out the window, no one even says Drake's name anymore. Everyone talks about Kendrick Lamar now. And he just released a new album. Everyone's talking about Drake's a baby. He's whining. He wants to cry because Kendrick destroyed him. I just need a one dance.